It is incredibly frustrating to see Henry Cavill relegated to the sidelines once again, considering he's the best thing on screen. Henry Cavill is somebody who's a powerhouse when it comes to the source material and deals with it with great respect. And the fact that he is constantly underutilized in shows like The Witcher and films like Argylle, it really tests your patience. I, for one, am excited to see him in Chad Stahelski's version of Highlander and to see Henry Cavill head a franchise. With regards to the changes to Watson and Moriarty and the law, it pulls you out of it. If you are a fan of Arthur Conan Doyle's canon and the great character dynamics that he writes, it is really painful to see them being remodeled for a modern audience and lacks complete respect for the foundation. The story is fun and great mystery in of itself, even with the Malta backdrop and the I'm late to my own wedding trope. But where this film fails is around the edges, and it is hard to get invested in. So the film centres around Enola Holmes, who is set to be married to Tilbury, the guy she is in love with throughout the other two films. And so they are about to get married in Malta, which is where her soon-to-be mother-in-law got married to her husband. And so that is the destination wedding of choice. And she is having a identity crisis and is trying to figure out whether or not that being married is right for her, and that she is wrestling between whether or not taking his name or not, or what it means to not be a Holmes anymore. And so she is struggling with that side of her life. And while she's in Malta, suddenly her brother goes missing, as well as her soon-to-be mother-in-law. And so she is on the case to try and figure out what's happened and the mysterious disappearance of her brother, Sherlock Holmes. So the problem with this film is mainly on a producer level. I feel that the producers really did not have any respect for the source material of Arthur Conan Doyle, and they cast the wrong people for the wrong roles, and that is a big issue. And the problem is it takes you out of the story and it completely rewrites the whole lore of Sherlock Holmes and Enola Holmes and all the characters around it that we all know and love. All the other supporting actors are elevating the lead actor's performance. For example, one right way to do posh and a wrong way to do posh. When it comes to the supporting actors, it seems rather effortless. For example, Henry Cavill, the moments he is on screen, it seems really easy and like he belongs there. He is very subtle and he feels relaxed in his performance as well. Whereas when he's acting alongside Millie Bobby Brown, it feels like she is very forced and tense all the way through. With Hamish Patel, I think he has a very strong and tragic performance in this, as well as with Helena Bonham Carter playing Enola's mother. She seems like she's having a lot of fun and feels like a very comedic and more sort of laid back performance, which is what the role requires. And it all helps to elevate Millie Bobby Brown's character, and I feel that her acting really sort of cracked in this one, and it just feels like she's very tense and feels like she's really trying to have to work hard to get any sort of emotion out, and really tries too much on the accent work, especially with the upper class pretentious posh English accent that she's trying to portray here, and so it really comes across on screen. On another note, the breaking the fourth wall trope was getting a little bit old towards the end. Deadpool is a great example of how to use this trope in a sparing and comedic way, and that is how you should do it. Whereas this, it seems like the breaking the fourth wall was happening every other scene, and as time goes on, it just felt forced and it felt engineered and not part of the story, and it just really frustrated me. I also didn't like the pop-up transition scenes that they had where they'll go from one location to the next and how the buildings would drop, and the weird sketches that it would transition to see what's going on in her head, and all that side of things just felt wrong and unnecessary and seems like a technical exercise more than a story exercise. I also felt like the ending was completely unnecessary. You could have just had Enola Holmes and her husband just ride away in a horse and cart with "just married" on the back credits. You didn't need to show the whole wedding, which is really annoying and wasted a lot of screen time where you could possibly set up for a future spin-off series, or maybe set up for a Sherlock Holmes standalone film, or you could have replaced it with something else, but they decided to show the whole wedding. The story itself was fine and it was quite entertaining at times, but I just felt like it was the fault of the producers on this one that really didn't work for me, because they didn't stay true to the source material, and it is really frustrating. And so I really wouldn't bother with this one, if I'm honest. And it seems like Millie Bobby Brown is here on name alone. She did one thing, and that was Stranger Things, and so that's just my opinion. So let me know what you think of the film, and let me know what your favourite Henry Cavill film is. I, for one, love A Man from U.N.C.L.E. That is my favourite Henry Cavill film. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel, and I shall see you in the next video.